Welcome everyone to another video. My name is Haggle, aka Hags, and we are back with another project, a new venture, a lot bigger house than before. This property behind me is a new purchase I just made recently, and you know, in this current market it's already hard enough to get hold of something, but we done it, and when you get hold of something you have an absolute gem on your hands. So this property, quick breakdown. First of all, the floor plan will be on the screen in front of you. This is a 2-bed semi-detached property. It's got a huge open living and dining room. It's in a blank canvas, ready for a full refurb from, I'm talking new central heating, new electrics, new kitchen, you get the gist. So let's start off straight out here. So the driveway isn't quite a driveway just yet. You can see the potential as you'll see throughout the property, and through the cinematics you'll see right now, you can tell there is no drop curb and there is a fence covering the driveway. So that's a bit of a problem, but we can always solve a problem, and that's what we enjoy with property. We could either drop the curb and knock down the fence, so now you've got a clean driveway. You wouldn't even have to touch the drive itself. But instead, I think in terms of value, I'm going to leave the curb as it is, as there's a lot of regulations behind that. There's a lot of time you have to wait for that. So for me personally, I will probably leave the curb as it is, knock down the fence. I will tell the agent to possibly drive onto the actual drive, leave his car there, so whoever purchases this next, they will see the potential behind it. So let's head on inside and let me show you this absolute gem I have here. So heading on into the property now, where the magic happens. So to my right here you can see the old fuse box. It's an absolute mess, it's ancient, has to go. So throughout the whole property we'll be doing a rewire, adding sockets, and again, not even a boiler, adding heaters, etc. So to my right you'll see the banister. It's got nice wooden feature, but again, I think we're going to keep the layout of how it is and just repaint it, just to make it more modern and give life to the property. To my left, you can see the walls. You'll see a common theme throughout the property. There is something called rising damp, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically water from underground coming up. And of course, that's nothing, you know, that you'd want in the property. It's something a lot of people avoid because they see it, they get worried and think it's a huge job. So what has happened here is, before I bought the property, the owners actually used a damp proof course, completely repatched the walls, new plastering, and I've now come here and seen that that's all done with warranties and etc. So now I can't go wrong here. So let's walk through now to the under staircase, and again, we love to use up our space that we have in a property. So behind me, you could probably guess what we're going to use this for. A toilet just behind. Let me head on inside. I am 6 foot to be exact. So you can see there is that room back here. So we'll have a toilet just behind me, sink just here, and we'll potentially have either sliding doors or just sort of an open door like that. We love using our space when we have properties. Any little space we have, we will do our best to use, and if we don't use, that is for the next person who buys a property. So that's an extra feature to add to the list. So let's head on into the kitchen and show you the masterpiece we have here. So behind me you can see again, there's absolutely nothing behind me. We need to add character to this room. So starting straight off, we'll add a lovely L-shaped kitchen going along here, all the way around. To my right, we'll have a cupboard just up in that corner, and then another cupboard here, and of course the hob. Hopefully, if we can access the hob through the center here, that will be great. Another cupboard under here, another cupboard under here as well. Behind me you can see the sort of layout that's already been in place. The sink, we'll probably leave the sink where it is, because of course you can look out through the back into the garden when, let's say, your children are playing or the family you have round. And of course we'll add cupboards, another cupboard, and just bring this room to life, because that's what we do here. So let's head on here into the sort of, let's call this the storage slash utility room for now. You can see again, this is again huge potential here, huge potential here. And the one thing you'll realize if you know about property is this room here is a non-standard construction, which means it's not livable. So what will need to happen, of course, to make this standard construction is you will need to straighten the roof up, level the flooring with everything else. What we are going to do in this room is, hopefully the thought is either an area where the tenants can look at and see the potential for something they want to add. This area right here, you can see, would be a study area. And then behind me, you can see how far back it goes. You've got all this room back here. The idea was potentially to add a wall just along here, bathroom, toilet / sink just back there, a wall in between, and of course a utility area just back there. So again, we've got so much options. So let's head on now into the living / dining room area. You will see the ample amount of space we have here, where we will add wood laminate flooring all across, following through the theme like we had last time, with the grey to the white walls, keeping it simple, elegant and clean. In terms of the walls, you can already see behind me, they have plastering halfway up, simply again because of the damp that was in the property before I purchased this. So that is now out of the way. It's just a matter of now painting the walls, taking off the wallpaper, plastering possibly that area as well, and just bringing this room to life. Behind me you can see this fireplace, which actually I'm quite a fan of. You can see the design, the colour, it's got the classic look behind it. Of course, this is going to have to go. This is very old. You've got the marble behind there, which looks fantastic by the way. And of course the designs on the fireplace, which I do love myself. So the idea behind this, I've been thinking about this, is removing this, the actual fireplace, keeping the marble behind there, and possibly repainting the fireplace. So let me know in the comments below what you would do with this. Would you just completely get rid of it, or would you bring this back to life? So heading around, you can see this just keeps going back and back and back. And before I carry on, you can see along the border of the property, there is sockets, but again, that is all going to be replaced, full rewire throughout, and possibly about 5 or 6 new sockets in this room, and of course, we'll be adding more in the other rooms as well. So the idea about this room was to keep the follow through of the wooden flooring, walls again in white, but then we had another idea which was in my head, but again I think cost effect, it's not quite there. But I'll tell you anyway, is adding a stud wall just across here. You'll have to have a beam because this wall here does hold the property up, so you will need a beam for that. And of course knocking this down and opening the kitchen to the dining area just to add that space between the living room and of course the kitchen and dining. But we've come to the agreement that we're going to leave the layout how it is. So following through to the conservatory, which when I saw this I was shocked to see that it was in this sort of condition. I was very pleased actually, because again, looking at other properties around me, you can see what they have done and do your due diligence into what you can add to the property for the value and adding more to it. The brilliant conservatory we have back here, great space as well. It's all double glazing as well. I wouldn't have to touch a thing really in this room, but really I will be doing something. So the flooring, again, will continue the wood laminate flooring throughout. A nice lick of paint throughout just to freshen this room up as well, add a bit of character to it as well. Let's head on upstairs now and let me show you the puzzle we have to deal with up there. So the upstairs, where there's slight puzzles that we're going to adjust, so stick with me, and also let me know in the comments below how you would do it different, so I can get an idea again. I can learn from all of you, you can learn from me, and we work as a team together. So straight off the bat behind me, you can see this corner, you've got the toilet, and this corner, you've got the shower and the sink. Very unusual layout, because if you are taking a toilet, you're gonna have to step out of there, go into this room to wash your hands. It's an unusual concept, but you know what? It's each to their own, but not in my books. So what we're gonna do here is knock down this wall completely, open this up into a nice full bathroom, adding extra space there as well rather than the separation between the two. So heading on round now into the first bedroom of 2 is the new master bedroom. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So in here you can see again, it's big, it's huge space. You've got a double room, of course. You've got a great space. Of course, you've got all this space behind me, which we're going to knock down. And again, the room will look even bigger, especially with the big windows behind. The flooring, we will have a carpet, grey carpet, sort of similar to the colour of the downstairs, and again, like the last property. So if you haven't watched that series, go and watch that now, and then come back. This room back here again, we're going to add again, there's no central heating, we'll remember that throughout the property. So we're going to add possibly one heater in this room. Again, sockets wise, we'll add one in that corner over there, possibly one in that corner over there, and one over here. So about 3 or 4 sockets we'll add in this room. At the moment it's only got one, so that's not going to do anyone any favours. So let's head on into the second bedroom and let's discuss what we're going to do there. So before we head into the second bedroom, aka the master as well, which we'll discuss again, so be patient. You're probably thinking there's nothing in here, but there's an actual tank in here. So what we're going to do is remove that, of course, add the combi boiler downstairs in the kitchen, hidden in a cupboard. And this room will probably, as we said just earlier, will be a storage room for towels, anything you want it to be. So let's actually head into the bedroom and let me discuss with you the real puzzle that we're adding into this bedroom. And the most value will be coming from this room. So you can see here, you would think that this is the master bedroom, but it won't be for long. So let me break this down for you. So where you are now will be an entrance to the first bedroom. You can sort of see where I'm going with this. There will be a wall just in front of me here and a door to open into the third bedroom. So we'll add a wall going across here and then coming around up to the wall here. And as we've already got a window just behind me, we will not need to add a window. And before you ask, you don't need planning permission for this because the wall will be a stud wall. You've got a window, you've got enough space for a single bedroom, which I'll show you just in a second. And of course, you've got room for storage. For the second bedroom, what we're going to do is add a door right here. And let's head on inside as if we're walking into the bedroom. So this room will be the second bedroom, as a double bedroom to be exact. So again, you've got the space of this room, you've got the single bed over there, and also the room we just saw will be the master bedroom. So you can sort of see the idea that you get when you go and view a property. You've got all these ideas of adding an extra bedroom, moving the bathroom even, that was a potential. So there's a lot of thought behind the ideas behind what you can add to a property. So before we finish on the upstairs, I want to show you the space that we have behind here. So again, nothing crazy, but once we knock these down, we'll knock this wall down above me. And again, here you will have a nice single bed. And from there, you will have a nice single bedroom, which, like I've seen in other properties around here, and the due diligence behind it, you want to look at the other floor plans of other properties and see what they have done or what their property's like to then add value to your property. So as simple as that, add another bedroom. This will now be a 3-bedroom semi-detached property. Let's head on into the garden and finish up there. So now into the garden, you can see behind me huge amounts of space, huge amounts of potential. As we've said throughout the property, you get the gist now. What I will be doing in this garden is giving it just a nice, clean, tidy up. Simple, nothing too crazy, because I know gardening can cost an arm and a leg, which we don't need to use up right now. So I'll be cleaning it up, jazzing it up slightly, letting the new buyers know that there is huge potential here. It goes so far back, you could probably see on the corner of my right just there, the next door neighbour's garden, and you can see how nicely they've tidied it up, made it look clean. That just shows that the area itself has great value because people actually look after their properties. So that's what I will be doing here, sort of replicating that to an extent, so don't put my word for it. And believe it or not, I will be doing some of the works myself in the garden. The rest, I'll be getting someone in to do the property because I am not a tradesman. That's enough for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you would add, what you would change, how you would add value to the property. I'd love to get your ideas and join me on this venture because we are back with another series. So sit back, enjoy it. I've been Hagop, aka Hags. Don't forget the name, and I'll catch you in the next video.